play the game anyway, with weather, but how kind of an overcast day like this might be kind of do you a favor, off a little bit?
Yeah, it's gonna be perfect football weather, so I don't think, we put it up in the team room today that no matter what the weather is, it's gonna be football weather. So we can go out there and play ball.
I mean, you didn't get to play 2 years ago at Oregon. How do you anticipate that environment to be talking about Washington?
I think it's a really cool place. How it's built, it's probably built to make it louder than the amount of people that are actually there. The way they built it, very smart. But remember the last time being there and just being on the sidelines, I know it's a hostile environment. So their fans are going to be into it because they love football there. It's the only team that they have there that's a big football team there in Eugene. And they're going to come ready to play too, so it's going to be a fun one.
And Rob Likens saying yesterday that it feels like that you trust him to do a lot more than just football. Can you just speak about your relationship that you have with him,
Yeah, playing college football and specifically the situation that I've been put in almost, different OCs every year, two head coaches now. As a person and the type of person that I am, I don't go out, I'm not a big people person, I like associating with people and things like that, but I would rather have a close group of friends that I hang out with and, hang out, blah, blah, blah. And it's hard for me to trust people. There's a guard that you put up. The life that I've grown up living, it's just hard to trust people. So it's hard to just put yourself in a situation where you're like, okay, another new OC, with Coach Lindsey, here we go, here's all my trust. All right, next year, Coach Napier, here's all my trust, All right, are you just gonna bounce? There's this game you play, and if you take a step back and just treat it as a business, then you figure it out. But he's somebody where, as a person, I can see his values and the things that he preaches and the things that he represents and stands for. It's beyond football. So yeah, he has my trust, and on top of that, my number one thing is he has my respect. And when you have my respect, that's, for me personally, that goes much further than football, whatever. It's just we have such a close bond together, just because we're on the same page about things, and we believe in the same morals.
certain specific things about the way that he communicates?
Yeah.
You and gender, that sort of.
Yeah. So we're both the same. I mean, he'd probably tell you there's some points where both of us, we can get pretty psycho. Just the passion and the competitiveness that we present ourselves with. And it can be a fault sometimes, it's not always a positive, but the majority of the time, being that competitive as he is a positive. You want a coach that wants to win. You don't want a coach that's just going out there and playing football, calling plays. When we mess up against the defense in the team period, he loses his mind because he just absolutely hates losing. But he's a competitive person. I'm a competitive person, and that's kind of where you start the melt to mesh well or whatever and start to gel, is when you have similar traits, and we have some similar traits. So yeah.
The implications online, what they are. How is the team smooth, and how have you been keeping the guys essentially grounded and just knowing what's at stake?
I tried to illustrate an image to put in their head so that they can, you think about with kindergartners, they don't read words, they like to look at pictures. So with all these young guys, I wanted to give them a picture instead of giving them words. So I told them to really take a look and truly see that at the beginning of the season, when all of our goals were in front of us, we have a chance to do something special. When that was taken away from us, so when the picture was taken away from us from going to a Pac-12 championship and all these things, our attitude, guys are like, dang, well, now we're playing to go to a bowl. When that picture was now presented to us again, and now we have an opportunity and it's in our hands, we control it, what are you going to do with that? When someone's taken away from us so special and they're like, here it is, we're giving it back to you, now do what you may with it, what are you going to do with it? So it's on us. It's on us to go out there and be ready to play and show up and not go there and, start slow. And, I mean, you guys know the story, how it goes. And we can't do that. We can't start slow. We understand the situation. I think Coach Herm has done an incredible job of not making it to where, it's like this thing that, you got to be all amped up about, but it's not something that's like, we know it's there. We're not like disregarding that it's there. So we're just trying to stay the course, stay level. Like I said, the quote I always tell the offense especially is the biggest enemy to success is complacency. So we got to just can't get complacent with anything and just keep pushing, keep pushing.
What are some things that are working as well that you guys have to be out there and look at?
Yeah, I mean, they're an athletic team. They got some guys that make plays. They're a little beat up, but they got guys that are going to step up and make some plays for them. So they play really sound defense. I don't think that they have some young guys on their defense, but they don't make young guy mistakes, if that makes sense. They play under their coach, and they trust that their coach is telling them what to do and the right thing to do, and they do it. And anytime you have that, you're bound to make plays. So just all about countering it. I mean, you guys know how we're going to play ball. We're going to run that rock, take our shots when we got to take the shots. Intermediate pass game is always there. And we're just going to go out there and play to, put points on the board.
Coach Edwards gathering guys up early in practice. They feel there was certain messages with that.
Yeah, I don't think that we started off practice. We had a couple missed assignments, I know, on offense, a couple routes that we didn't run correctly. I threw a bad ball to start off practice, like third play. The attention to detail and the focus just wasn't where – it was okay, it was good, but it wasn't where we wanted to be. And that was something that he just brought us up and was like, hey, let's make sure we understand that we got to come to practice every single day, be ready to go to work, no matter the circumstances. It was a little colder today than it has been all year long, and you start to see some guys, get a couple goosebumps on their arms and things like that, and they think about it instead of just going out there and playing football. So that's all it was. He was just kind of like, hey, give you a little kickstart.
I'm guessing that you think Nikhil's been out, but I'm guessing you think that
He'll be all right.
he'll play, yeah. But what about the other guys that are, Brandon and some of these other guys that are coming on now and giving you other options?
What about him?
Just their progress and
Oh, yeah.
What that does for you as a quarterback to have multiple options, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, hell, all year long I felt that I've had those guys and I can rely on them. I mean, specifically guys like Brandon, who before the season I was telling you guys he just hasn't had much coaching. He hasn't been exposed to this type of environment. You start to see him playing with a little bit more confidence. He jumped over a guy at SC. He stiff-armed a guy against San Diego. He's just playing with more confidence. And when you're playing where you're not thinking to mess up and you're just playing football, running your routes, and you're not thinking, boom, 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 1, 2, 3, fourth outside step, I got to do this. And instead you're just bang. You know what I'm saying? That's when you start clicking. That's when offenses start clicking. That's why we're on the same page with some things, because he's not – guys like that, like Frank too, they're not thinking. They're just doing what is the habit that they've created, that they've doing in practice. And we're finally doing that, and now you start to see that everything's rolling a little bit more smooth because these guys are playing with more confidence.
Jim, now that kind of really going at Colorado and trying to build it down in Oregon, what are some of the hallmarks of their defense?
Yeah, I mean, they're very similar to who would I say they're similar to? I would say in regards to Washington, they're very similar in terms of, like I said, their discipline. They do what their coach to do, but they line up. We're going to run this. We're going to run a man-to-man here. We're going to show you we're going to run man-to-man, beat it. We're going to say that our guys are better than yours, and you have to beat it. They're going to pressure you a little bit here and there, try to get you off your guard a little bit, hold some guys at word I'm looking for. Sorry, I'm blanking. They're going to put the guys at the sticks. They're going to just sit there, and then they're going to throw some pressures at you and have the corners and the safeties catch them so that, the pressure hopefully gets to the quarterback by the time you have these routes get in there or whatever. So you can tell that he's one of the coaches that cares, and their players play like their coach cares because they care. So it's a direct reflection how they play of their coach.
Did Oregon recruit him?
Oh man, long story. Yeah, so when I was getting recruited there, there's another kid, Morgan Mahalik, pretty good friend of mine. I'll probably get ridiculed that I'll say this, but Oregon was there was a school I really wanted to go to when I was early on in high school. I really wanted to go there. Loved Coach Helfrich, loved Coach Kelly. He was just here. I went there sophomore year, I believe, won the quarterback MVP of their full camp that they had. And I was like, oh yeah, after winning that, I had no idea what recruiting really was. So after winning MVP at their camp, I was like, going home, I'm like, yeah, they're going to offer me, I'm going to Oregon, all this stuff. Ended up Coach Kelly leaving. Coach Frost became the OC, I believe, when Coach Helfrich was the head coach, and I guess he didn't like me as much as Coach Helfrich did. So they ended up not offering me. He called me on the phone, say, hey, I'm going to come watch you throw, whatever day it was when I was in high school. He came out, but he didn't come to my school first. He went to Marin Catholic, watched Morgan throw. I saw on Twitter they offered him, and then he never came to my school. So then I was always all right, when I get the opportunity, I'm going to show these dudes what's up, you know what I'm saying? And, but yeah, I got recruited there. You asked the question, right? So, yeah.
Is that grudge still there?
Nah, I'm not a big grudge holder. I don't forget about it, but it's there. I don't forget about it, but I just keep pushing. I just keep moving. So.
Talked before about some pro quarterbacks that you admire or watch and that sort of thing. Do you pay any attention to the other current college quarterbacks, or do you not have, because of the overlap, the opportunity to see the Alabama quarterback?
Oh no, I've been watching Tua. Tua been balling.
What do you think of some of those guys? Him or Oklahoma?
Kyler eating, Minshew's eating, Will Greer eating. There's a few quarterbacks that they just bring a certain excitement to the game. Personally, I watch Alabama play, and I mean just the control Tua has. And that being said, if Jalen had to step in, he could do this. He's going to pick up right where they left off. So it's just that team is unreal right now. But yeah, I mean, I watched a couple guys. I really like the way Minshew plays. Plays with a lot of confidence. He just is out there owning it. He's been in this league for 5 years. And he's just playing with a lot of confidence. So he's fun to watch. Justin's pretty fun to watch. Big kid, throws the ball really well. But I mean, there's a lot of talented quarterbacks in this league. There's a lot of talented quarterbacks around the country. But what I do like to watch is I like to watch how similar offenses set up things differently. So I see a lot of concepts that we run, but different formations set them up. How they basically giving you just a different presentation of it. And I text Coach Likens hey, did you see the way these guys just ran flood? I'm watching the game right now. Maybe we should think about doing this because I'm always a student of the game. So, yeah, when I have the opportunity to, I definitely watch ball in my off time.
You said you and Coach Likens being competitive. Think back to what you said before, but it's a lot of times if a player comes over too emotional, the coach is like, hey, deep breath, settle down. But if you guys are going back and forth, is there somebody to be guys,
What do you mean back and forth?
Well, in a good competitive way, but you're just so amped up, it's kind of hey, just like you said, have that focus. Is there someone on the offensive line or somebody that will say, all right, you guys are both fired up?
Oh no, we never let it get to we're never like that with each other.
No, I'm not saying arguments. I mean in a positive way.
Oh.
He's so amped up, as you said, he hates losing, he's excited.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that Coach G had always said, and it's just always the next play. Think about the next play. When something bad happens, just go to the next play. And that's something that I've always positive in my head that I think about when anything negative happens is, if we get on the phone and we're frustrated about something that happened on the field, I'll be like, all right, Coach, I understand. Let's just move on to the next play. Let's go get this next one. And we have a pretty good understanding of that. So there really isn't nobody has ever had to be like, hey, guys, relax, calm down or anything. So, yeah.
You obviously have been here for the time, stepped on campus, the time he's become what he is now? Just what are some of the things?
What did he become? What did he become?
Just like, ASU's single season,
okay.
all-time leading rusher since '77. Like I'm sure like you're that record. Just what are some of the things you've learned from, or do you think you've learned from like Kalen and Mario, just the ways you've seen him grow and get to where he is now?
Yeah, so with Eno, I think that what separates Eno from most guys is one, his knowledge of playing the position that he plays, his knowledge of understanding protections. He's not just out there breaking school records. He's out there in protection, understanding when a blitz comes or when the line makes an out-out call, he has to pick up a different guy. Like, he understands those things. So being a good running back can consist of running the football, getting first downs when you need. But when you're a great running back, you can catch the ball out of the backfield. You can protect when the quarterback needs you to protect. And obviously you can run the football. And he has all three of those aspects. And he doesn't talk. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't, we're not out here trying to accomplish all these personal accolades. Guess what? They're just coming. They're just happening. And it's because guys on this football team have a will and a want to win. And when you have guys that have a will and a want to win, it creates these personal accolades for everybody else. That's simple as that. He's a student of this game. Busts his ass off in practice every single day. Doesn't take reps off, and it shows on Saturdays. Thank you, guys.